All right.
It's a grown man in the building. I don't think you're ready. Come on. We riding on some grown man knees. We step into some grown man knees. Conversation on some grown man knees. Put your hands up on some grown man knees. We puffing on some grown man knees. We sipping on some grown man knees. Come on. We vibing on some grown man knees. We loving on some grown man knees. I know, you know, that you're down with me. You know, I know that you're feeling me.
We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Tuesday night, which means you know what this is. You know who this is. It is another incredible installment of Grown Man Conversations being brought to you by Silver Shield Security Systems and Grown Fit. Tonight, we are here to talk about something that I am especially proud to be, a father.
Yes.
Talking about a particular type of fathers, the black father. No,
Yes.
we are not extinct. We are still here, and all of our pictures do not come from jail or prison, all right? They do not. So tonight, we're going to talk about that. We're going to elevate. We're going to talk about some stereotypes. And we're talking to one of my favorite nephews who's doing big things with Black Fathers Rock. But before we get into that, let's get into who I am. The man with the $1 million vocal cords. I'm one half of the hosting team of Grown Man Conversations. I go by the name of Tone X, ladies and gentlemen. Tone X, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I would like to introduce myself. I'm the other half of this co-hosted team, and I go by the name of Y Square.
Y Square, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right.
I got a new endorsement that I can't wait to tell you about. That I can't wait
Start
to
there.
tell you about. But we can't start it now.
I cannot.
My nephew won't make
I
it.
can't take it.
This dapper gentleman right here, looking like one of Dapper Dan's proteges. And he's like this 24/7. I think he go to the mailbox looking like this in the morning. I have
Right.
never seen him less than stellar with his attire. His name is Ryan Joel. He is the president, the founder, the creator, and the energy behind Black Fathers Rock. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and coming here to talk about Black fathers. You told me that you were in the airport and someone came up to you and they were like, hey, they saw your t-shirt and it was like Fathers Rock. And you were like, that's not what my t-shirt
Not
says.
what it says at all.
Why is it so important for people to understand the title, Black Fathers Rock?
So black fathers tend to get the bad rap of being absentee, prison population, whole 9 yards, right? So we know what the media portrays for black fathers.
Right.
What they don't portray is the fact that black fathers outperform their counterparts in child rearing, from changing diapers to picking kids up from school to doing homework. We outperform our counterparts. And so for me, instead of waiting on someone else to tell that story, I decided to change the narrative myself and started the award show about 5 years ago. And it's important because I'm a father who happens to be black, but we also understand that the black father, as you said, we're not dinosaurs.
Right.
We're not all absentee. We're not extinct.
Right.
And we are here doing great things. And so for us, you know, how often do you ask a man how he's doing and actually listen to the answer? How often do you check in with a black father or a black man? Not only are we fathers, we're also, I mean, to most people, men's societies, we are the ones that have our targets on our back. We're the ones being killed at an inequitable rate comparative to our counterparts. So all those things matter. So not only are we dealing with being a father in whatever capacity that is, you're dealing with racial and social injustices in the world. You're dealing with the ceiling of corporate America, depending on how you look, what you wear. If you go in certain rooms and you're the only black person there, you have to, what they call code switch, depending on where you are.
Right.
So many other things that black fathers have to deal with outside of just being fathers, and the stereotypes. When I started off 5 years ago, I was doing an ad on Facebook and I typed in keywords: black fatherhood, Black Lives Matter, things like that. You know, keywords, Father's Day, and they stopped my ad. And the reason they stopped my ad, it said, it appears as if you're soliciting for low-income housing.
Wow.
Y'all think about that. This is 5 years ago, 2017. I started in 2017. I had my first award show in February 2018. And they Facebook blocked my ad to say, it appears as if you're soliciting for low-income housing.
That's
But
what
if-
they got from me was crickets.
If I typed in deadbeat dads, there's 50 deadbeat dad groups. There's probably more by now on
Right.
Facebook. You can type it in right now. Whoever's on Facebook or on your other phone, don't turn us off. Type in deadbeat dads in the search bar for groups on Facebook. And y'all, somebody put in the comments how many groups come up.
Somebody let us know.
Please.
And I think for black fathers, one of the differentiating factors between black fathers and dominant society fathers is I believe we come with a spiritual understanding and a spiritual energy with us. A black father will get highly upset if something come up and he can't go pick his kid up from school. He will get, the dominant society father will make a way to get his kid picked up. He'll send an Uber. He'll ask his wife to do it. The black father will cancel Christmas because when that child come out of school and look around, that black father got to be there, sitting in the car. It means more to him to do that, and Yolanda can attest to that. If I can't go get London, it's a blessing that London goes to school in close proximity to where we live.
Okay.
Yolanda's seen me take the car into the shop and walk to the school.
Right.
So when he come out that school, I'll be like, hey, sport.
Yep. Awesome.
And we walk back to the crib together.
And that's a story that most people aren't telling. But you are absolutely correct. My daughter texted me. We just did a cooking event before we got here. All me and the kids, we were cooking. She texted me when I got in the car and said, I miss you already. Like that shows impact. Those are the stories that we need to tell.
Hand claps for that.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, like I say, don't get to hear it. And more importantly, a lot of people don't get to feel it. Which every black father should feel that kind of love.
Yes, sir.
It's a thing when you hear your kids say, you say I love you, and they say I love you too. It's different.
My son starts saying I love you more, and I'll be like,
Right.
I don't know how to top that. He's 4. I love you more, and I'm like,
Right. And what I love about it is the energy that I feel from both of you. Of course, I already know that you're a wonderful father. I've been able to have that experience with you now for over 20 years. I know.
Slide you something.
$YS Productions. You
But don't
can
give it
send
out
to me.
because if somebody else slides you something.
They can slide
They go
you
s-
something.
Right.
I mean, you
Now
might
I'm
not want
mad.
to take that money. Take the money.
Right.
Take that money.
So I can't get too upset depending on how much they slide
Take
you.
that money.
Exactly.
It's a blessing.
But my thing is that I love the fact that the synergy and everything that what I'm feeling from you all, and we were speaking before we went live, and we were talking about how statistics and the media would have you think that black fathers are not present
Correct.
in their sons or in their families and their children's lives. However, it's really the opposite, right? We have a lot
Yes.
more black fathers that are present and that are showing up than we do that are not showing up.
That is
and
correct.
even maybe more so than the dominant society may have, right?
I'm in a group of black fathers on Facebook, one of the ones that got approved. There's 95,000 men in that group.
95,000.
95,000
5,000 from 100,000.
men in the group, and most of them are black. And we have advice. We talk about advice. We talk about things that happen in everyday life. We discuss. It's like when you go to the barbershop, right? I know I'll talk about therapy later, I'm sure at some point. But before black people started going to therapy, we go to the barbershop, we go to hair salon.
Right.
We chop it up, we talk, we hash it out. We stay there for 3-4 hours. You know what I'm saying? And now, just there is a community of men that are doing great things, that are black and that are fathers.
Right.
And yes, absolutely. I grew up without a father, so I know that there are absentee fathers in the world, and I'm not dispelling that myth, that notion at all. What I am saying is there are more present and active fathers than we get credit for. And so that is the thing that we need to talk about more. I don't care about the negative. I know the negative exists.
Right.
However, my goal is to promote positive fatherhood, black fatherhood in our communities, in our homes, be a beacon of fatherhood for somebody who may be an absentee father and sees the work that we're doing and says, you know what, I'm gonna come back because I feel something from that. Like I can attest to that. So that's really what we are, the positive black fatherhood.
Positive black fatherhood. And I, for so many years, held things against my father because he was physical with my mother. And I never fully understood him until I got older, until I became a father. He transitioned before my mother did. And I held things, and I held on to things. And it clouded the beauty of having a father. My parents were divorced when I was 17 months old, but my father was still in the city, and he taught me a lot of things. I always joke to Yolanda about my father taught me 3 things. He taught me about making money, because he was a hustler. He taught me about cars, that's why I'm a car enthusiast. And he taught me about game for females. That's what I got. Everything else came from my mom, but that's what I got. And at the time, because of how it transpired with my mom, I was upset about that. That wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? That ain't really what the narrative that I would have wanted, especially after talking with my mom and seeing how that went down. And then when I got older, and I had my first son, and then I just used to dwell on the fact that you have to be appreciative of the time. Everybody comes into your life for a reason and a season.
Yes, sir.
You cannot choose the length of the season or the reason, but you have to find the positive in everything. And then the more that I would think about it, I would like, man, my dad did give me some dope survival skills. He did give me game, and it wasn't all females. He talked in analogies, but the older I got, the more impact they would have. And I would find myself telling my oldest son, Justice, the same analogy, the same angle. And I share a lot of them with Yolanda, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a pimp game, it was just game. It was his way to prepare me for being a man.
Right.
And he did the best he could. And a lot of times, nephew, that's what we all are out here doing. We are doing the best that we can. And if you can find a way to award somebody for one best to wipe out the 5 ain'ts,
Right.
it's still a beautiful thing.
And you don't know what you don't know. Our parents had limited knowledge and information. They went off of what they were taught, what they learned growing up.
Right.
A lot of those things, some of those things are transferable to how I parent. A lot of them are not.
Right.
My daughter's 7. My daughter's going to 3rd grade and just turned 7, and she's already ahead. So she might graduate high school at 15 or 16. I have to reason with a 7-year-old. I can't say because I said so, because she's too intuitive. She's too smart. There's too much technology. She's in older classes, so she sees too many older kids for that kiddie stuff to work. And so, I've had to adapt to my parenting. My son, he's a little different. I got to do a little more yelling. I got to do a little more hands-on. I don't whoop my kids or anything like that to that degree. But
Don't.
so when I say whoop, I mean like I got whooped. Like I got whooped with a
we
belt.
had to pick our
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
and pick
pick
our
up.
right.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah. So
My mom didn't play.
we had a brown belt that my brother and I would hide from my mama, and and then I got older. She started boxing me. So when I say whooping, I still discipline for sure.
Right.
But it's a different type of discipline, and the popping, I do that, of course, but like that full blown, didn't I tell you not?
Well, I grew up on that, and I thought
Me too.
I thought shouts out to Gregory Jackson. What's up from DC? Chocolate City. My dad was the same way with the teachers of being a man. Yeah, and when I was coming up, I thought that was, the way.
That's the way to do it.
Do it.
That's all you know.
Exactly.
Justice
all you
one
know.
day told, I would tear Justice up. Justice
Yeah.
hit me one day and he said, "Hey, Dad, listen, he was like, I really don't like spankings." And I was like, huh?
Of course you don't like
I
it.
was like, but you can't, boy, you don't tell me about you don't like no spankings like that. You don't have no jurisdiction over this belt. And he was like, but I really don't, like, for real, I really don't
Right.
like them. Like, is there another way And I've never heard that before because all I got was
That's smart.
or a switch. And so now I'm like, well, I guess there is other ways.
But you didn't know at the time, right?
Yeah, so that was the thing. I thought at first he was just being funny, trying to keep from getting a spanking, and I didn't even think that we really disciplined him like that. I felt like it was more, what's up, Brandon?
What's up, Brandon?
I felt like it was more, we did a lot of talking, and we would, express ourselves, and I may have been stern, and Tone may have been stern, but I really could count on one hand, to me, how many times you actually disciplined Justice and hit him.
He said
when he told me-
behind closed doors,
I got it.
I
When
tore that
Justice-
up.
When Justice said he was fearful, he was scared. He was like, when you all spank me, it makes me feel like you don't love me. He said, and it makes me feel that all the good things that you said about me and all the times that you say I'm a great kid, but then why did you have to hit me just because I made a mistake?
Wow.
And when he put it to me, in
What do you say to that?
Right, I was like, well, wow.
Bend over. Somebody want to hear
I'ma
that.
show you.
You ain't paying no bills.
Right.
Gregory Jackson said they adapt faster than what we did. I love learning from my son now and then. And because your kids have been here before. Now, we're not going to get into that because we're here talking to my nephew about Black Fathers Rock.
Yeah.
But your kids have been here before. We all have been here before. This is another journey in another outfit, shall we say. The energy and the souls of your children, first of all, they're not yours.
Right.
That's the first thing you got to understand. You're borrowing. It's like a rental car. Really, is what it is. And you're trying to pass on some traits to get them through life, a life that they already been through. They are nothing but a means of a reflection for you to look at and see yourself in a younger version.
Right.
That's what your children are.
Right.
That's why a lot of times you hear people say, man, you just like your daddy.
Right.
You just like
But they normally say that in a negative way, though. That
Yeah.
very rarely are they talking about it in a positive light.
That's true.
It's usually like, oh, you do that. Oh, you just like your daddy. It's never like,
That's true.
you're creative, just like your
like your
daddy.
father,
You're a
yeah.
musician, just like your daddy. So if
true. That was a good point.
we're going to use that, we got to make sure that it's the positive. You're just like your daddy, not the negative or the bad experiences that you had with the father of your children. Like you need to make sure that you're imparting that positive knowledge, because I'm gonna say it like my pastor always said: more is caught than taught. So the more you do things, the more the kids are picking up. They're like sponges.
Right.
So if you tell them you just like your daddy and they 7, at 17 they're gonna remember that. At 27 they're gonna remember that. At 37 they're gonna remember that. And so you've planted that seed and it's growing and it's growing, but it's growing the wrong way.
And I thought my dad was dope. And my mom would be like, boy, you just like your daddy. All them hoes. And I'd be like, wait a minute, mama.
See what I'm saying?
Don't say that about daddy. Even though it might have been true, because my daddy took me to his girlfriend's house one time, Miss Odessa. And I came back home, and my mama said, where did y'all go? And I said, we went to Miss Odessa. I said, who? I said, Miss Odessa. She cooked us dinner and everything. And my mama said, go to your room. And at that point, I knew.
You had
First of all,
you snitched.
I was in trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
And I had messed the code up.
Right.
My daddy used to always say, stay on code. And
Right.
and my daddy, boy, next time I saw my daddy, he said, I ain't taking your ass.
Nowhere.
Never again.
You about to mess up the whole
He
joint.
kept his promise. He wouldn't take me nowhere. But Dad, you're supposed to tell me before I got the car. This is my side piece. But you ain't saying. I thought Miss Odessa
How old were you?
was a Christian, upstanding woman.
See, your
who could
father,
cook chicken.
your father put you in the middle of that chaos.
That little entanglement.
So he was like, I know Tone ain't gonna go home.
But he didn't
and
have
just
the
do like
conversation.
this.
He
But
didn't have
had
the
the conversation. All that time we had driving, you supposed to be like, listen.
When we get in this house,
Say that about Odessa.
Don't you
All
say
right,
one
man.
word.
All right. Sure.
Look, let me ask you this. I was recently watching a daytime talk show, and they were talking about parenting and parents and the relationship that we as parents have with our children. And it was posed, they had two different opinions. It was posed that, should you be your child's friend? What do you think about that?
yeah, so nah, bro. I'm the parent,
Right.
Right. So we can hang out. Even when they get older, I understand that relationship to a degree. But like my kids are younger, 7, and my son will be 4 next week. So for me, I'm the daddy. We're not friends. I'm the parent. Yes, we can talk about. I tell my daughter, listen, We can talk about anything you want. Like, we can talk about anything you have questions about. We've already talked about sex. Yes, we've already talked about sex.
Excellent.
At 6 years old.
Oh, you better.
That's right. You better.
6 years
She
old.
come and talk to you about it.
She did. She came to me. She said, "Daddy, I
So
heard."
what is?
She said, "I heard that that sex was when a boy and a girl stack on top of each other."
Not stack.
And I thought to myself, I mean, that's kind of
Right. It's stacked on top of each other.
That's really
Right. That's the
I thought that I was like, baby, no, that's Lego.
But you know, she ain't dumb,
Right. So
and
she
she knows fourth and fifth graders who have been talking about it around her. So I have to have that conversation. So I can't be your friend. I got to be your parent.
Right.
So you know, I can't speak for people that are because a lot of there are some people that are close in age with their children.
Right.
But for me, being a friend to my child is not my.
I agree.
Not for me.
Depends
What
on
do
the
you-
level of friendship. Well, I don't want to be your friend. I want to be your father because a friend is not going to do what I'm going to do.
Correct.
And I don't need you to look at me in the light of a friend because then you become comfortable and you forget basics like manners, mannerisms, and respect. I need you to respect me to the point
That's
that
right.
you understand he's like a friend, but that's my father. And you talk about sex thing. Okay, so my son 12. And me and his mama got his phone one night
Woo.
and looked on the group chat
Woo, woo,
and
woo,
almost
woo.
fainted. I thought I was looking at your group chat.
I did that shit.
I was like,
yes.
What?
What
Yes.
adult phone do we have?
Right.
They
And-
showing, it's all kind of pictures.
Yes.
It's all kind of comments.
Yes.
They talking about all kind of topics.
Yes.
These are middle schoolers. I said, all right, then.
12 years old.
Nah, bro. I said, what?
And they're talking about each other.
Don't do that.
Okay.
They have access to
Don't do
so.
that.
All right.
Don't,
They have
I was
access
gonna
to.
get-
don't do that.
Well, I was going to
they're
put
talking
him
about
out, but it was a whole
our new
group chat.
sponsor. That's coming up.
It was a
Coming up. All right, it's coming up.
I need y'all to understand
That was
if
a
he
great
continues
segue.
talking about this.
Wait till it come up. Greg said mine's never taught the code. Us boys knew it from birth.
Right.
Listen, I love my mom so much because it was it was just a question.
Yeah.
It didn't come from a place of I'm trying to find something out about your daddy. It was just like,
And it was your natural response.
It was like, oh, y'all back? Where'd y'all go?
She-
Oh, we went.
you got
We went got some
bamboozled.
good food.
She cooked dinner.
You got bamboozled.
And yeah, and then
Mama
his
said,
mama
"What?"
knocked Miss Odessa out, I believe.
Did
no,
she?
she didn't. Now you
She
asked-
did knock.
No, she didn't.
She ain't knocked Miss Odessa
No,
out.
she never
I
did
thought
that.
she went over there.
No,
and-
she did
and-
not do that. You're not gonna make my mom out to be no damn.
No, Marion, that was my girl. That's my
And
girl.
then what that also does is that it also shows the power of the D. Because if a woman go over to another female house and knock her out,
Instead of whooping the man.
Donkey.
donkey. You understand me? Well, you what? I wish a lot of women go fight a female. I wish a lot of women go fight. I'll post that on Instagram.
What's up? What's up,
take a
John
picture
C.
like
I
that.
can't take. I
It's a
can't.
great sweatpants.
I can't.
It's a hashtag. Power of the D.
You so crazy. See?
On the war ass out.
Listen, mine watching shit. She'll kill somebody over me too. I know.
Right, Jackie. Bunny, yes, Tonex, that's what goes so wrong. I'm your parent, not your friend.
friend.
Tell them
Because
again.
you know what friends do? Okay, let me ask you this question. How about this philosophy? Because I hear it a lot and see it a lot.
Okay, what you got?
Dominant society.
What you got?
If you're gonna do something, instead of you going out there and doing it with somebody you don't know,
Oh.
you might as well do it with me. If you're gonna smoke a cigarette, you smoke it first with me. If you're gonna drink liquor, you drink it at home with me. If you're gonna smoke weed, you sit and do it here with your daddy, and then you'll understand how you feel about that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. First of all,
That crosses the line. To me, that's when you're crossing the boundaries of
That
creating that
philosophy is
friendship
common.
and that respect.
and the crazy thing about that is
is
that
not
you're
there.
never going to get them back.
Right.
When you start on the friend journey, how do you reel them back in and say,
Right.
I'm not your friend, I'm your parent?
Right.
Well, you have given me things that I would do with my friends, the
Right.
clubs, the drinking, the smoking, all that. That's what I would do with my friends when I got older, when I'm exploring. But
Right.
to do it with my parent, like,
Right.
you have almost given up your authority
Absolutely.
because you're their friend.
I never understood that. You know what I mean? Never
Yeah.
have I understood that. Question my 11-year-old granddaughter just asked me why.
What?
Well, what?
What question?
What question?
Well, what?
What question did she just ask
Your
you?
11-year-old granddaughter. What's she talking about? Our new sponsor?
Right. What's up, up, Angelique?
Somebody disagree with that. I don't know what they
VA.
disagree with, but
Yes, my cousin from VA. So, Angelique,
Could be
tonight we're talking about, we're actually with the founder of Black Fathers Rock. This is Ryan Jor-El, and we're talking about parenting. And we're also going to get into your Black Fathers Rock event, gala, everything.
yeah.
We
To
ain't
talk
got
about that. I know. We're going to be talking about that.
Still
getting up to
working
that
our way to that. We still talking about these.
Using Tonex's bottle to pop.
We still
I ain't
talking
bring
about, and that silver shield.
Silver
I didn't bring my pot, my little stand.
That's what black people do
I
anyway.
did.
We use.
I'm gonna find something to prop it
Put
up.
it on the side of a car, on
Right.
the window, and be like, "Yeah,
What's going on, Elliot? How you doing, sir?
Elliot, what's going on?"
Well, speaking of that, this is a great time to go into our sponsor segment.
Well, it's not time yet.
Yeah, I mean, well, we get that. I
got a
mean,
question.
okay, you got to.
Yeah, we're gonna. Don't act like we don't have a question. I got plenty.
I'm in trouble too, by the way, y'all.
No, you're not.
I'm in trouble. I don't know
We
what
ain't got to that yet.
I did, but it's gonna come out live on air, just so y'all know.
We hadn't got to that yet. We hadn't got to that yet. How do you feel about this statement?
All right.
A woman cannot raise a boy to
Be a man.
One of the reasons why the father is so needed in the presence of a young man.
I'll say this: my mother raised my brother and I. My brother is 4 years younger than me, and she did what I would say a great job. I have an issue with that statement because it kind of depends on the context, right? So there are principles that you're going to give to people, to your kids, because they're principles. I think for me, one thing my mother did do in the absence of my father not being there was surround me with other men.
Okay.
And so for me, my growing up in the church, so Elliot, we grew up in Greater Salem Church, or Salem Baptist Church at the time in the 90s. If you don't know what that is, if you don't know who Bishop Jim Wright is,
Oh, yeah, everybody.
you should probably go read a book.
That's
Yeah.
Port City.
Right.
I mean, it's Charlotte. It is, and I was talking about somebody else, like it's mega ministry before there was mega ministry. It was rows and rows of people sitting in the lobby to hear the word and hear the.
My mother drove him on the school bus in Wilmington.
Oh, really? Wow.
That was my connection with him.
Wow. Yeah, so Bishop Jim Wright, the men in the church at Salem, Brother Vaughn, Brother O'Banner, like those were guys that took me under our wing. We had a youth group, men's youth group, YBU. Y'all remember YBU? My YBU people watching?
YBU.
Young Brothers United, Psalms 133.
Reverb.
Oh, do we? Uh-oh.
Oh, what's reverb?
It was like,
But it's
like a little echo or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so for me, even though there are certain things I didn't talk to my mother about, I always had men around that I can confide in and talk to about, I guess, those manly things. So I think definitions matter. So when someone says a woman can't raise a man to be a man, I think the definition of what a man is matters. And so for me, I don't necessarily get into that piece, but I will say that my mother was very instrumental in making sure that I had people around me to help me grow, to help me evolve. I've been, let's be quite honest, I'm different. I've dressed like this since 1996. Right. And back then, fashion wasn't cool.
Wasn't cool.
Back then, I was called gay and everything else, and all kind of crazy stuff because I was different. And then 2 years later, the trend that I was wearing 2 years
Everyone
before,
started doing it.
it jumped off. It popped off.
Andre Benjamin.
I was
Right.
I was doing it back then. I'm not being like I'm 1996, like for real. I got best dressed in high school in 2000. Like it was my thing. It was my knack, and I learned that in metrosexual. That was the word back then. That's right.
Yeah.
Metrosexual, and to me that just means borderline gay. So it's the same thing, but that is what I came up under. So for me, my mother taught me the fashion game back in the day. There's a picture in my book. Man, I was like 6 months old, and I had on some Spectator shoes, some red pants, a red vest, a white shirt, and a tie. I was like 6 months old, had a little baby afro.
See, you all.
So I've
Your mother
always
was
had it
planting
in
the
me.
seed.
She
Yeah,
planted the
so she
seed,
had that.
and now the seed has grown and evolved and things like that. So I think she's taught me as much as she could, and I'm still learning. And I think she's learning a little bit from me as well. But having a support system around people, and again, to the point of black fathers being absent, I had fathers around me all day. Bishop Jim Wright has an only child, Tony, and I promise you, most men in Charlotte that grew up in the 90s going to church model their daddy-daughter relationships after Bishop Jim Wright. It is what it is. So, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but he's the GOAT. Just saying.
A man is
He's a goat.
Girl's first love.
Yes.
Yeah,
A
my-
woman is a man's first teacher. And when you talk about the context, let's break it down. The context that I come from is because a woman can only be emotional because that's how God made her.
Yes, sir.
So any direction, any philosophy and energy she gives is from a feminine standpoint. So she can't talk to you from the mindset of a man because she's a woman. So when you talk about your mother having men placed in your life, that was the masculine part that she couldn't physically get across, but she could find others to fill that void. And that right there.
Yeah.
Afraid
Yeah.
to cut the umbilical cord, and when he grows up, the mother's boy, because I used to relish it. I'm a mama's boy. I used to tell people that all the time, but it was different for me. You know what I mean? The mother's boy philosophy nowadays gets you in trouble because it puts you in a place where people say,
You soft.
and it looks like the roles are reversed. It looks like the roles are reversed. You ain't doing nothing masculine, but you're doing all the feminine stuff. We don't know who's who. And that's when you get into a lot of the soft mannerisms because your mama wouldn't cut that umbilical cord. And in this society now, black women are so afraid to cut that umbilical cord because you see what's happening to our youth and our black fathers through guns, through violence, just through the creed of this country. And it casts a fear over parents. And you be afraid to do it, but you always say you got to cut the umbilical cord. You got to let a man be a man. You know, that don't mean go out there and take him to a brothel or nothing like that, but you got to let a man be
But
a
Gregory
man.
Jackson
Look,
had a
you put your
comment.
glasses on.
Oh, thank you. Gregory Jackson. We're going to get his comment and then go to our sponsor
Me a
segment.
book. To rent me a book.
But he says,
I agree, but why can't a parent be both as long as they know when to turn one off and the other on? I actually took my dad to a club once.
because he wanted to see it for himself what I was doing. He said, but drinking and smoking weed, it was if you can't buy, then don't come to me for the money. So basically, I guess he's saying that when it came to the smoking and the drinking, his father was like, if you can't buy it yourself, then don't come to me for the money.
Well, it's like Ryan said, I'm gonna let you address that. Different strokes for different folks. Because if my son came and said, hey dad, my 12-year-old, hey dad, I heard him on a group chat talking about head. And I say, all right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm getting ready to, I got a female I'm gonna call. And she gonna come over here and she gonna give you head, and so you can see about it. No,
No.
I ain't gonna do that.
Right.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. So it's different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? How you feel?
I think for me, and as you said, different strokes, different folks. It's what you are comfortable with. I don't have to agree with you. I just know what I do, right, and what I believe in. And so for me, and so here's a prime example. And this, hopefully, this ties in. I'm getting married in a month.
Yeah, you are.
And
We wanted to bring that out.
I know, but I say that for this standpoint. My fiance does not spend the night at my house because I have a daughter.
Wow.
And I am showing her and training her on what it looks like. So she asked me, I had to, like, that's why, because I am an example. More is caught than taught. So if I'm drinking and smoking, getting high at the crib, and I got women running all through the house and she around, she's gonna think that's okay behavior.
Right.
I'm not gonna give her that.
Right.
I have to, I'm the priest, I'm the protector, I'm the provider. That's my role. My goal is to be the best father I can be and show her what's next.
That's excellent.
You understand what I'm saying? And so you talk about, a daddy is a daughter's first love.
Yeah.
I'm also the first person that taught her how to date. Taught her how a man should walk on the outside of the street. Taught her if a dude come to you and blow the horn, don't go outside. If he don't open your door, don't go with him.
Right.
Like, that's what she's learning from me.
Right.
Chivalry's not dead. Being a gentleman. And so that is, I got my passion. It just
I
kicked
know,
in.
that's right.
It kicked in. So that is my job. That is my role. So people do what they want to do, but for me, that is not the way I'm going to operate as a parent. I'm not your friend. I'm your parent, and we're not going to do certain things together because that's what you do with your friends. And I'm not going to lose that respect. I'm not going to lose that authority because, again, my role on this earth is to be a priest, to protect, and provide.
Boy, I remember my son Justice down in Atlanta, my 23-year-old, our 23-year-old. He called and he was telling me that it was late and he was going to stay over at his girl's mom's apartment. And I said, where you sleeping?
On the couch.
And he said, sleeping in the bedroom. I said, well, who? He said, the girl. I said, well, have you asked the mom about that? She said, the mom said, it's fine. I said, well, this is what you do. Get up out the bedroom and go on the couch by yourself. He said, but Dad, the mother said it's okay. I said, because the mother hadn't seen a man like you. Because the mother hadn't seen a man like you date a daughter. There's a respect level that she will understand thoroughly when you go back to her and say, I appreciate it, Miss So-and-so, but I'm going to sleep on the couch. I'm saying if you are faltering with getting off the couch when everybody's asleep and creeping in the bedroom, go home. Go home.
Yeah.
And they'll talk about you tomorrow. They'll talk about you in a different light. Because obviously, that's the norm.
But the crazy thing about that is, the more you do that, the more they want you. The more you walk away from the invitation. I'm telling you.
I was gonna say, I bet how did your fiance react to the fact that she knows she's not gonna
She
spend the
came
night
over there in
with
a thong and a t-shirt.
and a jacket. Well, her pretty self. I know she showed up. With a trench coat on.
So we. I'm not gonna tell. I can tell.
She must have done that before.
Absolutely. Listen, let me tell you. Let me tell you something. The same thing you did to get me is the same thing you gotta do to keep me. But anyway.
That's right. You've been here for 24 years. I was gonna say because I'm doing something to keep you. I'm doing something to keep you, baby, because you've been here. You've been here, boo-boo.
Because you walk around the house in your bra with the damn robe open, but then can't nobody touch you. You see what I mean?
You just gotta
when I touch you, you know what I mean?
It's kind of pedophilia. He does kind of like molesting a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? Because he gropes
my
me.
hand in the crease of
He
her
Donald
ass,
Trumps
this.
me.
And she's like,
He Donald.
What's wrong with that? Touch you?
He Donald Trumps me. So you
do.
got to pat it.
Right.
You got to pat it. You know.
What you're not going to do.
We're not doing that at all.
Not going to compare me to nobody.
Well, I'm just talking about you.
Anybody.
Okay.
That is not it.
That's not going to get you.
I done forgot the question.
Matter of fact, let's go and talk about our sponsors.
I done forgot the question.
Don't worry about it.
Right. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back. I want to know what the fiance did, how she responded to not being able to spend the night.
I want to say shouts out to Silver Shield Security Systems, which you see right here. They are celebrating their 10-year anniversary this month, this week. If you do not have an adequate security alarm system for your apartment,
Yes.
your home
Yes.
as well, and your business, you need to give these people a call or go on the website www.silvershield-security.com. This is a black-owned business. This is a black female who is in the game of a predominantly male-dominated game. It's not CPI, it's not ADT, but her technology is of the same caliber, if not better. We have it in our home, and it's incredible. You can look on your phone, you can see the cameras in your home, you can see what's going on, you get the alerts. So, Silver Shield Security System. As a matter of fact, nephew, you got security in your spot?
We do. I cannot think of who it's through.
Well, cancel them.
And go to Silver
And
Shield.
then you go get Silver Shield because if you go,
Baby, hear that? Hear that?
Yeah. Let's cancel down.
we're one of them.
We
we're
moved
one of them trench coats over there.
Yeah.
We'll cancel.
We're moving next month. We'll look at it. We're moving next month.
Please look
And
at it.
also, if you go to them right now and you use my promo code #Tonex, #Tonex, you get a half off your installation price, half off of your installation
Had to do that comparison.
price
Yes.
for going and using #
No contracts.
ToneX. So it's Silver Shield Security Systems. Once again, the website is silvershield-security.com. Also, Grown Fit is in the building. This is the new.
That is
black
new.
with the
Pink. Real men wear pink. Real men wear pink.
Yes. Come on, yeah.
This right here, man, you feel different.
You might need to give me that one.
Okay, this make me feel. You've been saying you're gonna get a Grown Fit
I've-
tracksuit for 2 years. So this. Matter of fact, when you first started, I just had a G. It was grown. Now we got 7 colors, 8 colors
Yeah.
for you to choose from black and white to blue and white, green and white, gray and white, red with the pink, white with the fuchsia, yellow with the white sunshine on me. We got it all red and white.
Blue.
I said that.
Royal blue.
I said royal blue. Yeah, thank you. But make sure you get on grownfitwear.com. Grownfitwear.com. Or you can DM me or Yolanda. We can get it to you, baby. We are better than FedEx. We need you to have this grown fit. Also, if you haven't done the Laugh It Up Thursdays, we got a big one coming up in July. Big deal coming up.
We'll have that button.
The last Thursday is Monique. That Monique.
June 30th.
It's coming, and I'm not the headliner, so you don't have to worry about that with me. But Monique is coming to Knights Theater, Uptown. Monique and friends, Monique, Corey B, and myself, Charlotte.
Nice.
You do not
Want to miss
this at
June 30th.
all. And then July 28th, the last Thursday of July, straight off of the 85 South show. Straight off of Wildin' Out, quit touching shit. My nephew Carlos Miller is coming. That
Laugh It Up Thursday's gonna be crazy.
The one, but I believe that's the one that I'm gonna be able to get him up in the building. So Carlos Miller tickets on sale right now. We don't wait for that. Get your VIP tickets. YSPros.com. Carlos Miller, July 28th. Monique, June 30th here in Charlotte. And this Saturday, Father's Day weekend, we are shutting down Raleigh at the Duke Energy Center. Monique, Corey B, and myself. So it's getting ready to be trouble for North Carolina in the month of June with my sister Monique. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. We were talking about what did your fiance do to try to make you revise that house rule about not staying over because your daughter.
So the crazy thing is, she was super respectful.
Awesome.
She actually told her sister and her best friend about it. Super respectful. So she, y'all know she fine.
Yeah,
so,
she is fine.
What does that have to do with them respecting?
Because that was probably hard.
Yeah,
It was
because-
hard for you to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
that
when,
discipline.
yeah, so now when the kids ain't there, we can hang out and chill out and talk and go to the pool and whatever. But I just, she has been, our entire relationship or knowing each other has just been very easy, very peaceful, very respectful. Even going through our divorces separately, independently of each other, we were very respectful in protecting our exes and protecting the kids. And she literally just met my kids like 2 months ago. Wow. And we've been dating a year and a half, known each other 6 years. So, I've been very integral about handling that situation. So she hasn't been seductive in that regard. It's like, hey, babe, I'm gonna stay tonight. But it was a season. Right, we get married next month, so if she says
I know that's right.
she home with the kids right now, so I'm just saying.
I know that's right. So how is that with blending? With bringing her in to the home as a new wife?
It's been amazing, actually. My kids don't like anybody.
Yeah.
So in fairness, when they met, when my daughter met Tracy, because again, my daughter is. My daughter, she said to me that day, she said, hey, Daddy, is this the last person you're going to introduce us to?
Wow.
Okay.
And I'm like, Daddy got friends. She's like, no. That you like. I said, yeah, that Tracy's it. And she said, okay. And then, just the integration of the kids, because her daughter, well, I guess our daughter now, is a week younger than my son. So they'll grow up together and things like that, but Peyton's really excited about having a younger sister. Grayson and Yora, they're just like the same person, full of energy, jumping on beds, don't listen, that kind of thing. But it has been a very smooth transition. I wasn't worried, but it's nice to know, Peyton adores her, can't wait to be her, can't wait to be your daughter.
Yes.
Can't wait for us to move in together.
Excellent.
She loves having a little sister. Grayson loves Miss Tracy. If he sees her, he'll speak to her before he speaks to me, which is fine because he's a boy. Yeah. So it's been easy.
love, and that's a beautiful
Thank God it's
thing.
been very easy and an easy transition.
Your daughter says,
Oh yeah.
it's just the last person
You're gonna introduce me.
to introduce me to. I thought that was dope.
And in fairness, she hasn't met anybody because I was married and with my ex for 15 years, off and on, and then I went on 2 dates total, and I never introduced them, obviously. So when
Kids,
they're smart, that's what I'm saying.
you know what I mean? They might not do as you say, but they'll always do as you do. And that's what you were talking about.
More is caught than taught.
You say what you want to, but all they do is watch you and absorb.
That's right.
Everything that you do. So, now it's
Annual.
All right.
Yeah.
It's called that Black Fathers Rock Gala, and you got it coming up this weekend.
Sunday.
On Father's Day during June. Don't get no better.
Don't get no blacker than that. Don't get no blacker. Father's Day and Juneteenth. Hey, y'all gotta invest in one of those. Y'all need another button over there.
need that horn.
Get that. That's gotta be there. Yeah, so this is year 5. You know, we are super excited
Wow, year 5.
Yeah, I got the idea in summer of 2017. We had our first show February 2018 during Black History Month, and then even during COVID, we still had something because we can't let a year go by without
did it
celebrating. No. So last year we did a small dinner for the fathers and their guests.
Awesome.
Had some speakers, super impactful. 30 people in the room, not a dry eye in the house because of the stories, the impact. Bishop Jeremiah was there, and half the awardees or honorees paid homage to him, and he didn't know any of them, except for one. But that's how much the impact was in that room last year. We did a very small dinner, but it was just an amazing time. This year we're doing a cocktail reception, an award ceremony, got a 360 photo booth, heavy apps, have some incredible stories. We got a DJ this year, so this is year 5, so we want to switch up a little bit. Do a celebration. Have a venue that most people have not been to called 820, which is right across from VBGB in Music Factory.
820.
It's a beautiful facility. So many different things that are going to have. We got some surprise elements. Got an African drummer that's going to come in for our Juneteenth kickoff portion. I mean, it's just going to be an amazing event. Yeah, it's just.
Let me tell y'all what they do. This is what I wanted to talk to my nephew about because I told him when I got here. Let me tell you what they don't have. Let me tell you what they don't have, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to add it.
I was nominated one year for Dapper Dad of the Year. I didn't win shit. Okay? I did not win.
You won at our house, baby. You did win.
That's beautiful. That's the same shit that you said at me.
I know, but you still
Okay.
are.
I didn't vote.
That's fine. I'm not better. I'm just getting my little Richard on. Okay? I didn't win shit. All right? Nominated, ain't win nothing. And then we talked about me hosting.
He did.
This event.
You're
We
right.
talked about it. And then I heard all of the amenities that's going on in this one with so much going on, and they got speakers.
No, we don't have speakers.
Got guest speakers coming. Not a dry eye in the. Not once was I invited to say shit. Not been nominated again. Nothing. You know they done kicked me off the radio. I ain't even get a damn honorable mention, Radio Dad Award or nothing. So I just wanted to let you know.
But your feelings was hurt.
Yeah, and next year I wouldn't give a damn.
We ain't even hit. We can make an audible. I'm the founder. I started this.
Okay.
Are you even gonna be in town? You'll be in Raleigh.
Next year I'm coming. Invited or not.
We're going to shut it down.
Shut the shit down.
And I'm going to bring your award.
Speaker, come down.
We're going to have your
like
own
I'm
award.
supposed to, and grab the mic, and I'm going to say what I've been wanting to say for 3 years. So I done got it off my grown fit chest.
Listen.
And I'm good about it.
So, all right. So when you come back from Raleigh,
Sunday,
what time?
in time for your shit.
We'll talk over here. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my own plaque. I carried it around. I bought it from goddamn Home Goods, and it's got a little seal on it and everything. All you got to do is
Oh gosh. In fairness, let me, because this is. So we talked about him opening up a show. He is absolutely correct. This was 2 years ago. At the 3rd annual celebration.
Right.
Yep. We had a whole thing planned.
Right.
Charge it to my head, not my heart. I'm telling you.
I'm so sick of black people using them little goddamn sayings.
Charge it to my head.
I know my heart. No, he must not know this. He must know.
I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna make it audible because I'm making.
I'm gonna charge it, but it's gonna be on debit card. It's gonna be a credit card.
I brought gear. I bought some gear. I got some gear.
Don't do that.
Got some merchandise. Help!
I left you in the ocean.
Help me! I can't swim out here.
And she gonna throw a raft at anybody that's gonna be with me.
You're correct. You're correct. He is correct. He is correct.
All right, though, listen, this
He is
what I'm
correct.
talking about, though.
I'm gonna fix it.
One
I'm
of
gonna
the
fix
best,
it.
one of the best events
Yes.
that I've ever been to.
Yes.
One of the best energies
Mm.
in a room where everybody roots for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody claps for everybody. Everybody want to see everybody win because you feel like if you're in the room, you're a winner anyway.
Mm-hmm.
My comedic element kicked in when I was telling you about the award and Little Richard. Like I told you that day, I don't care about no awards. The award was getting nominated for someone to think enough to nominate me. And winning, I won because I was there.
Yeah. And you win every
I
day.
won because I met you. And I established a relationship that has grew and a bond that's very strong.
Yes, sir.
I can call you.
Yes, sir.
You don't pick up the phone, you hit me right back. I can text you wherever you are. You have sent me text messages. I'm not in town. I'm here. I'm here. I'm in a different time zone. But I saw that you text me. Woo-doo-woo. That is what you cannot put an award, a trophy, a plaque, a certificate on.
Yes, sir.
And that is why I think what you do with Black Fathers Rock is so important. And I tell you all the time that I'm proud of you.
Yes, sir.
And big things are coming down the pipe.
I felt that. I am. I'm not gonna give a disclaimer. I'm about to blow. It is happening. Paul. Sorry, I'm 40, man. I'm sorry. I don't be thinking about that
Why
stuff.
them young kids do that?
I'm 40. I don't want to say. I'm about to blow. I'm about to blow up. I know it. I feel it. I see it. I sense it.
You've always said that, though.
Yeah.
And look
But
how it grows each year.
that's
That's what I'm saying, though. Look how it
That's
grows.
it.
If people
This
would
is
look
it.
at where they started or where something started versus looking at why it's not where they wanted to be, you'd be blown away. Because you'd say like the elders say, but God, there's no way that you could have put this together
Right.
and it grew
Right.
or it reached people in the magnitude that it had. You didn't do that.
That's right.
You had help and you had the most eternal energy coming from the universe to guide you and make this thing impactful. It's bigger than a game.
Yeah, I see it being televised. I see this being licensed out to other cities and
Speaking.
countries and everything.
Mike
And-
Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. Mike Jones. I'm just being on the radio too, but stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
It's coming, baby.
Man,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a beautiful thing, and that you're here talking about it, and the way it comes, the way it works out this weekend, Father's Day weekend, Juneteenth weekend,
Fifth
your
annual.
fifth one.
Biggest sponsor we've ever had. Shout out to Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthy Blue NC. That is our title sponsor
I need some
for
insurance.
this.
Let me tell you, this Obama shit ain't cutting it.
Yeah, they have been a very strategic partner. Shout out to Dr. Keith Cradle, who was our 2021 Surrogate Father of the Year.
Keith Cradle.
Yeah.
That's family
Cheers.
too.
Yeah, cheer. That's right. Yeah, and the 7:45 a.m. never not working. That's
Right.
Every time I hear Keith, he's never around.
He's camping somewhere.
And he gonna give you the time. And it's 11:46.
I hear one time I said Keith laughing up Thursday. You know I'd be there, but I'm in Panama.
Yeah, we were just in Jamaica at the same time on different sides of Jamaica.
I hit him when he was in Jamaica too, because he hit me back to me. I'm in Jamaica. I'll
Yeah,
let you know.
he takes me-
I'll spread the word. Right. Jamaica, you want? Keith?
Yeah, man, it's just I know what's about to happen and happening, and you talk about. I always say if God gives you a vision, He must also give you provision. And me lying on the couch that day and writing out my vision in a black notebook, and then taking that black notebook to that first award show, and I can literally check off the list of people that were involved. No Grease. Facility where I had it, who I wanted involved, Sporty Odie, Fred Shop. Like I can literally, it's in my notebook. And it came to fruition. So for those of you that are listening or watching or may watch this later, write it down.
Write it down.
Write it
Make
down.
plain.
And I say this all the time. It's going on a t-shirt. It's being trademarked. So don't steal it. Don't steal it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be out. If I showed you, matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna show you my first Black Fathers Rock logo so y'all can laugh. When y'all see this logo, y'all are gonna laugh profusely because it is god awful. But the logo now, no company can touch my logo now.
Right.
I respect Grown Fit, but what I'm saying to you is,
And say, wait a minute, sir.
I'm saying I'll show you what it's done, but it is just, if I didn't take that first step to do something,
Right.
I didn't set out to become a nonprofit. I set out to showcase black men, black fathers in a positive light. As a result of doing that, people started investing in me and I became a nonprofit. As a result of doing that, I was able to partner with the Belmont Community Resource Center and do a Growing Up Fathers panel. As a result of that, it just keeps going on and on. I'll be in New York Thursday. I'm being honored Thursday for a Dope Dad Award by the Dad Gang. So I'm going to New York Thursday.
Excellent.
That's dope. Yolanda, you know what?
What?
Because you do all my bookings and stuff, don't you?
Yes.
Has Ryan left you a text message asking me to be on a panel for any of these males?
You know, he sure has not.
I have not done anything.
He sure has not asked.
I have not done anything. That was 4 years ago.
Okay, you know that's the comedian problem.
I know. I ain't worried about him.
Put it out and write it down in a notebook.
All right, go ahead, write down a little
Be on
bit.
a panel with Ryan Joel
That's it. We can make it happen.
before
But
2028.
You're so funny.
I said all that to say, just put it out there. Nobody can like it or dislike it. They never see it.
And we seen it.
I got to show that logo. Ooh.
What advice, because I know you hear this all the time. What advice would you have for black fathers? Like Tupac, keep your head up. What advice would you have for black fathers to keep going?
So, first, it does not matter the relationship you have with the mother of your kids. You absolutely have to be there for your
That's so-
children no
yes.
matter what. It's not about, my ex and I do not get along. We talk via text message. That's the easiest way to talk without arguing. But it's about the kids. I'm going to take care of the kids. That's all it's about. So whether we get along or not, whether we know how to communicate or not, when it comes to the kids, it's about the kids. So it doesn't matter how you feel about your ex or your current or whatever.
What happened?
You have to make sure that you're there for your kids no matter what.
Yes.
And you have to fight for them.
Yes.
I don't know where I got the money to fight for my kids. I don't know where it came from. I don't know. It don't matter.
It was that love you,
I
that
got
desire
them.
that you
You
have
understand what I'm
inside of
saying?
you.
And I'll do whatever I need to do to make sure that I'm there for my kids. So the first thing is, it doesn't matter your relationship with the ex or your current. The kids are the most important. And if you keep that in the forefront, I think you'll be in good shape. If there's a father out there that's down and out, I know I do this work all the time. So there are parents or women who use the kids as pawns, and the fathers can't. They don't have the means to get an attorney, or they don't have the means to fly to a different state. You got to figure it out. Reach out to some of these programs, some of these places. I'll provide some resources. I don't have any off the top of my head, but I can if you reach out to me, because I'm a huge advocate for active and present parenting, no matter where the child is, and no matter the relationship with your parent, your co-parent. I think that's super important. And then also, just honestly, man, I can never go do an interview without talking about God or the universe, whatever you believe. There has to be a higher power that you're submitting to, that you're accountable to, in order to be there for your kids and not be discouraged,
Right.
and to continue to go on. And those moments you do get down and get discouraged, you got to find something externally and intrinsically to motivate you to go on. And so for me, therapy and theology, my spirituality is part of the reason I'm here. What I hear, what I believe, I do. And then I go to therapy. I haven't been in a while because I haven't had to, thank God. But, when I was going through my marriage and it was rough, I was in therapy. When I was going through my divorce and it was rough, I was in therapy. There are, institutions out here that have a sliding scale. So it's not always through your employer or through your health insurance. You can go to, I think Pfeiffer is one of them. They have a sliding scale. I think it's like from $10 to $45 per session. So it's definitely affordable. You can spend that on Starbucks this
Right,
week or
right.
eating out. But investing in your mental is super
Right.
important. Mental health is a hot topic right now.
It is.
But, it's okay. You can go talk to somebody. Doesn't mean you're crazy.
Right.
It just means you need to talk it out. And sometimes a lot of good therapists will have you self-reflect and you'll figure it out your own.
Right.
But you have to put it out there and you have to get well. If you're not well for yourself, you can't be well for your kids. I'm talking about sitting on somebody's couch. I ain't talking about going to the barbershop.
Or drinking
Or strip clubs.
Don Julio.
Right.
Healthy outlets.
Work it out.
Find your healthy outlet.
Exactly. Thanks, James Washington
Just tuning in for the
Sr.
first time. So far, so good. Thumbs up. Keep up the good work, and we will do just that. Keep up the good work. On nothing, you know, we're gonna keep doing it. I got a partner. Keep doing it with. So what we do? Jackie Fillmore.
Yeah.
I saw what you put up. She said my granddaughter had asked her, "Why do my friends get the love so free, and you put all them restrictions on me?" That's because, once again, we are not here to be your friend. You got plenty of friends. You got friends in that little stinking group chat.
Right.
Y'all ain't talking about a damn thing.
Right.
Over there. I remember.
How many kids got group chats?
Oh, it's a lot. Don't
You
put
better
your
get a
baby
phone
on
now.
phone.
So-
Do not
I
even give
told
them
my
a
son, I
phone. Because
said-
if they get a phone,
My daughter has a phone, but
Did
it ain't
I said, did
like
they
that.
talk to their parents like this?
Right.
Or do they parents know that they talking on a group chat
Like
like
this.
this? And my son just be looking like, I done asked him SAT question at 12. Dad, I don't know. You know, well, you won't.
Right.
How about that?
right, you won't
You
be a
won't.
part of it no more.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
getting ready to watch the Malcolm X autobiography.
Yeah.
You getting ready? Put turn to Malcolm. Goddamn it, I'm gonna. You're gonna do
Put
a
on A&E.
You're gonna do a report after you finish watching. I'm gonna come in and ask you some questions. You better be watching.
So before we go, though, are people still able to get tickets for Black Friday?
Absolutely. There is limited capacity. He was there that year.
Yeah.
He was like, "You need a bigger spot." I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you that.
It's intentional. But yes, there are still tickets available. Black Fathers Rock, the number 5.eventbrite.com. If you forget all that, just go to our social media at BLK Fathers Rock. Click the link in our bio and it'll go straight to the page. Or just go on Eventbrite, type in Black Fathers Rock, and we'll come up. So that is happening this Sunday at 5 p.m. 820 Event Space and Catering. Tickets are $40. You're going to spend that on something this week anyway.
Yeah.
Give it to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What you're really doing is investing into the Black Fathers Rock community. We look to have programming. We have some initiatives that are on the table that we're looking for corporate sponsors for. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Healthy Blue NC is one of those that's going to help fund the vision moving forward. But, you get one, the rest of them keep coming.
Exactly.
So for me, Sunday, it's something that is for everyone. People, for whatever reason, maybe Y Square can help me, why women exclude themselves when they hear something from men is beyond me. But it's a family event.
But I think the reason
Everybody
why-
can come. We're
need
just
to-
honoring fathers.
Yeah, we just need to know that we are able to come.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing when women do brunches. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
Well, y'all don't want us there when y'all do your brunches.
But we do. Like, listen.
Women's empowerment brunch.
But to me, so look, I'm an outside the box thinker, but I feel like, and that's something that I'm actually working on, is incorporating that, because with Tony and I doing Grown Man Conversations, to me, we've been able to show the dynamic of conversations between men and women. And a lot of times we do go to our prospective corners. The women go over here, have their little sessions, the men go there. Even in gatherings at home, you might have the ladies gather.
Yep.
It is important for us to congregate and talk together.
Agreed.
And so we are working on events that will combine men and women to put us in those spaces to talk about our differences and what that. So.
Together, you have to specify that.
I do. It's
Because this is one of the
crazy.
things I will say, and I always say this: if you with somebody who does not have their own life, they need to be to every set that you go to.
You preaching, man.
They need to go everywhere that you go to. They need to move every time that you move. Then you are in
Trouble.
That's right.
If the guy can't go somewhere with just the guys, and the ladies can, when Yolanda be like, me and my girlfriends, we going.
Bye.
I be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, then. And
Bye.
I ain't gonna call you and check in,
Nothing.
check on you, mama. I'll see you when you get back.
That's it.
All right.
But you know what that is? That's security. You're secure. You trust. Tracy and I go everywhere together. Not because she has to go with me, but because we just
We
enjoy
each
being
other's
around
company.
each other all the time. And the funny thing about that is my friends are like, "This is new." It's like, what? Who? What? You be out by yourself. Now you. What is this? You must really love her.
We like that too, but we like that too. But when certain times come, I'll be like,
I'm going-
because she'll even ask. She'll be like, if you want to come, but I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
Go with you in
You know, the same thing he'll say if you want to come, and
You
I'm
and
like, no,
seven
you
females.
go.
And
What we gonna talk about?
How many other guys gonna be there? It's just gonna be me. So you good.
Right.
You go do
Yeah.
that. And then I think so. Sometimes when they hear Black Fathers Rock and they understand our father is a man, they look at it as one of those gatherings that it's men empowerment, or it's time that men are around men talking about guy things. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to incorporate it in your event to let women know, hey, if you want to come, you can come.
Right.
Because what better way
To celebrate.
support your man and show a visual than if you accompany him
right.
to Black Fathers Rock. Because
right.
you obviously are saying that he's a good father. If you show up with him. And once they get there, but sometimes when you like me, Black Fathers Rock, I'll be like, yeah, I'm going. You know what I mean? It's not Black Mothers Rock. It's not Black Women Rock. It's Black Father Rock. It's just like Mother's Day. You know how guys be like, it's my mama that's getting the shit. It ain't Valentine's Day. It ain't. You have a mom, don't you? But then you go get her something, and then your kid's mom be like, well, wait a minute, like that's my day. But what about my mama? It's my
Right,
it's
but
Mother's Day.
it's always,
So
it's still good though to spotlight.
First of all, Yolanda,
I know that, and you
a
do.
Jehovah's Witness. Y'all ain't even supposed to celebrate.
So first of all, then since you want to speak on that, Dan, but no. So it ain't even about Jehovah's Witness. First of all, Mother's Day is every day. If you want to break it down like that. So it's not even about no special day. And in my household, yeah, and in my house,
Why are you doing your head like that?
because you come. No, it's not.
You struck a nerve.
Yeah, you did. You struck a nerve.
Now what you do?
I knew when you said it. I knew it was about to happen. I just turned this way. I just looked this way.
Exactly.
But either way,
It was my comedy.
Yeah, you
That came
always
out.
put it on the comedy. Don't put it on the comedy.
look, she done point a finger to and hit the table. She did this. Wow, you know what that means.
I'm a Muslim, so we in there too. You know what I mean? First of all,
No Christmas. No.
You got a Muslim and a Jehovah's Witness in the same house.
But that
I
shows the
cannot- I
power. It
can't
shows
take
the
it.
power of God. That's what it
witness and a
does.
Muslim.
Exactly, and it shows the power of Jehovah
That's Allah.
and Jehovah.
Oh God.
Because we are blending up under this household, both of us. In the name of Jesus.
You right here mixing. You can't be. You got a bottle call in one hand and a watch tower.
So
You
look,
got to pick a side.
right. So
Just come to the event Sunday. Everybody come to
Exactly.
the event.
Please
It's
come
for
to the
everybody.
event on
There's
Sunday.
kids tickets in there. I'll say it like this. People don't think they can wear merchandise for Black Fathers Rock and not a father. A, you were here because of father. Whether he's there or not is a different story. But you can't be a mother without having a father. That's a
Right.
whole different story. And secondly, you wear Nike and you don't run track or play basketball. You support the brand. Black Fathers Rock is a brand. You wear the T-shirt in support of the brand, in support of the movement, in support of Black fatherhood, in support of positivity. So that's why you need to get merch. But come to the event Sunday, see what it's about.
Right.
See what it's about, and then tell a friend. We're gonna have, like I said, so many good things going on. It's a reception, it's a celebratory kind of evening. You don't have Father's Day plans for your dad anyway. You can give him a tie and tell him to go watch TV and give him a big piece of chicken. Bring him to the event. Bring the whole family to the event. See what's going on. See all the positivity in the room. I'm telling you, when you hear these stories of these men,
Yeah.
you're going to cry. It's impactful. And how often do you see positive black men and black people in a room? Ain't no fighting, ain't no hating. It's all love, it's all positivity. And these are people that are impacting their home and the community. And who wouldn't want to support that?
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
what it is. Ron Joel from Black Fathers Rock.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Yes.
Silver Shield Security Systems. Make sure you go to silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #Tonex, and you can get half off installation.
Seemed like you was trying to think about that.
What is happening?
I was going to say something else. But,
Right.
You know, a comedian's mind be working with so many things going through. And shouts out to everybody that tuned in.
Yes,
We
thank you
appreciate
for
it.
watching.
And
We
to my
appreciate
lovely
you.
co-host, Thank you for your cleavage.
You're welcome. You're welcome, boo-boo. You're welcome.
It's a grown man in the building. I don't think you're ready. Come on. We riding on some grown man knees. We step into some grown man knees. Conversation on some grown man knees. Put your hands up on some grown man knees. We puffing on some grown man knees. We sipping on some grown man knees. Come on. We vibing on some grown man knees. We loving on some grown man knees. I know.